How much of your net worth should be in crypto, right? You guys have investment portfolios already, or maybe you're just getting started and you want to know how much of your net worth should be allocated into the crypto market as opposed to other things like real estate, bonds, stocks. All these different investments are trying to sell you. A lot of financial advisors are telling you certain things. I'm telling you another thing. So what is the best solution for you, in my opinion? Okay. We're going to get into that today. I got a question from a few people asking me, they're interested in getting involved in the crypto market, and they wanted to know how much of their total investment portfolio should be in crypto, right? So we're going to answer that today. But before I do, I need to let you guys know that nothing in this video is financial advice. I'm not your financial advisor. I'm not your financial counselor. What you decide to do with your money is up to you, and you need to take responsibility for your buys and your sells. All right. With that being said, let's get into the video. So how much of your investments should be in crypto? Okay. There's a lot of things that a lot of people need to keep in mind here. And I'm going to go over a few things with you guys first, and then I'm going to essentially answer the question. Okay. Now, as a few caveats to this, I want to, before we get started, all right, I want to say that, guys, any money that you invest in general, specifically in crypto, okay, you guys need to only invest what you're willing to lose. All right. Now, does that mean that it's likely to go down? No, that's not what that means. All right. But as we know, you guys, crypto is very, very volatile. And although it's very, very lucrative, it's also very, very volatile. Okay. So the money that you put into the crypto market right now, as an example, you should be okay with holding that for a year, 2 years, and it not affecting your life at all. All right. All the money that you invest, that's why I talk about disposable income, that you guys should not be like running up credit cards to pay for crypto. You guys should not be using crypto with money that you need immediately, okay, or to feed your family or to take care of your family or to take care of your responsibilities, okay? And we'll get into that a little bit later. But in general, guys, you guys want to risk what you can afford to lose without it affecting your lifestyle or your family, okay? So that's number one, all right? Only invest what you're willing to lose. And if you're not willing to lose it, at least you have to be willing to sit on that money and forget about it for a year, 2 years. And if you are okay with that, with the money that you're looking to put into the crypto market, then that's okay. Then that's a good thing. Then you're okay to invest. All right. But only invest what you're willing to lose. That's number one. All right. A lot of people will overly invest, and the reason why you guys don't want to do this is because what happens is that some people will overly invest, and then they will essentially, life will happen, and then it'll put them in a situation where they have to sell their crypto at unopportune times to take care of real life. Okay. If you guys are on a DCA schedule and something, maybe an expensive bill comes up or whatever it is, you have to take care of that first. Okay. Crypto is very lucrative and everything, but real life comes first, you guys. Okay. You guys have to take care of your kids. You have to take care of your wife. You have to take care of your responsibilities, your parents, depending on the situation that you're in. All right. So if you have to sell your crypto, you do it. Ideally, you put yourself in a position where you don't have to do that. All right. And we're going to get into that a little bit later. But the reason why is because you don't want to have to sell your positions at unopportune times. Okay. And then on top of that, although crypto is a very, very lucrative market, like I said before, you have to be willing to sit on that money, because sometimes it takes time for the money to manifest into more. Okay. So that's number one. Only invest what you're willing to lose. Okay. The second caveat that I need to put is an emergency fund. Okay. You guys should, before you guys are investing or while you guys are investing, you guys should also have an emergency fund set up for your real life, and that's in dollars, okay? And an emergency fund and 3 to 6 months of expenses, or 3 to 6 months of expenses. Sorry, guys, I'm super early. You guys don't want to put yourself in a position, like I said, where you guys have to sell your positions early. And one great way to do that is to have an emergency fund and to have 3 to 6 months of expenses in case something happens. All right. If you lose your job, or you put yourself in a position where maybe you're out of income for a little bit, maybe you have a business, that business is slow right now, you guys want to make sure that you guys have money set aside, cash on hand, in order to do that. Okay. An emergency fund is if, let's say, your car goes out, or something happens. Let's say you have a really expensive medical bill. Okay. You need an emergency fund for that, right? Because you guys need to pay for that. You guys need to have cash on hand ready to pay for that. Okay. So although crypto is a great place to park your money, that stuff should be getting built as well. If you guys don't have a 3 to 6 months of expenses and an emergency fund, you guys should be building that. Okay. Now, obviously, people's expenses are going to be a little bit different based on the person, which we're going to get into later. But basically, if it requires 20 grand, 15, 20 grand to live for 6 months to survive, and that's including all of your expenses, that's including groceries, that's including whatever your lifestyle is, you guys should have that saved in cash, or you guys should be saving it cash. All right. If you guys want to invest in crypto at good opportunities, you guys should also be building that as well. Okay. The emergency fund, the 3 to 6 months of expenses, the amount that you need in that is going to depend on you. You have to do the math on that. You have to figure out how much your monthly expenses are. You guys need to multiply that by anywhere from 3 to 6, depending on your situation. All right. And you guys need to set that up as well. And that's going to allow you to, first of all, have peace of mind in your life. But not only that, but you're also going to be able to allocate into the crypto market without having to worry about selling anything, basically, no matter what happens, right? So that puts you in a good situation where you have a nice nest egg and you have a little bit of a cushion, and it's a beautiful thing. Okay. It's a beautiful thing to have a savings. All right. So that's number 2. Okay. Only risk what you're willing to lose, and have an emergency fund and 3 to 6 months of expenses in cash. Okay. We all know that cash is trash, but we do need cash at the end of the day to use things. And if we're going to use the crypto market as a way to multiply the amount of purchasing power that we have, we do need to hold some cash, you guys. We have to hold some cash. We have to have some cash in the bank. 3 to 6 months of expenses, and emergency fund. All right. Everything else, you're free, all the rest of your disposable income, you're free to put into crypto and multiply it. Okay. So that's number 2. So the main thing, you guys, is that how much you want to allocate. So what I mean by allocation, right? If you have a 401k, you have a pension, you have real estate, you have stocks, let's say you have T-bills, or let's say you have government debt that's earning you a yield, whatever the case may be. All right. Now the question is how much. So then crypto gets put into this equation, right? Let's say you already have a stacked portfolio, like some of my clients do. A few of my clients are real estate guys. A few of my guys have a bunch of stocks, whatever it is. All right. How much of your total, so let's say you have $500,000 in investments. Okay. Now how much of that should be in crypto? Okay. That's the question. And the thing is, you guys, is that this is why I specialize in personalized crypto coaching, is because it's going to depend on you. It's going to depend on your situation. Okay. It's going to depend on a various amount of factors that is going to determine how much of your portfolio should be in crypto. Okay. First of all, your age. All right. Your age is very, very important, because somebody that is, we'll use the youngest side of the spectrum, and then the oldest side of the spectrum, and then you can kind of figure out the middle, right? So somebody in their 20s that's living at home, right, who isn't making that much money right now, right, is going to be allocating a lot differently, and they can take more risk than somebody who's 65 with a kid or multiple kids and a wife and a down payment and a mortgage. And let's say, he's getting ready he's getting ready for retirement. All right, those two people are in completely different situations, right? So the person who's a little bit younger, let's say he's living at home, or he has lower expenses, he has less responsibilities. That person who is younger can take, first of all, he can take more risk, and he can allocate more into the crypto market. Okay, I'm going to say this. I'm going to say it right now. If you guys are in your 20s, you guys should have a lot into crypto. It depends on how convinced you are of it, but if you guys aren't very wealthy already, if you guys are, I talked about this in previous videos where there's a difference between offensive investing and defensive investing. Okay, if you guys are not upper class, you guys are not wealthy, and you guys don't already have wealth, then you guys should be offensively investing. You guys need to be going out and you guys need to be investing in bubbles. Okay, and on top of that, you guys should be increasing your income. All right, so that's the first thing, is the age. Okay, generally speaking, the younger you are, the more allocated that you could be in crypto, because you have less of a net worth already and you need to build it. And guess where the best place to build it is? It's crypto, right? It's just like, it's just like anything else. You're not gonna lift weights. You're not gonna be able to lift weights if you don't go to the gym, right? You're not going to, if you want more dates with the opposite, well, for the men out there, if you guys want more dates with women, you guys aren't going to get those dates if you don't go out into the game and actually do it. All right, if you don't go out and talk to women, if you don't do the things that are necessary, you guys are not going to do that. Okay, so that's the first thing. All right, you guys need to be offensively investing for you younger guys. Older guys, you guys can be a little bit more defensive, and you guys can have a little bit of a more balanced approach because you already have an established portfolio in your life. Okay, so that's the first thing, is the age. All right, the responsibilities is another thing. All right, so obviously if you have a mortgage that you have to pay, you guys have a down payment, and you guys are paying a mortgage, you guys have a car loan, let's say you have credit card debt, let's say you have kids that you have to support, let's say you are trying to get them through school and they're still living with you, right? Well, that's going to be a little bit of a different situation than somebody who is, like I said, younger, right? And who has less responsibilities. If you live by yourself, you don't have to account for anybody else, right? Those people are going to be able to allocate more into crypto, and they're going to be able to be more aggressive into the crypto market than somebody else. Okay, and like I said before, I'm not sure if I landed this plane, but for you guys who are not, you guys do not have high net worth, you guys should not, in my opinion, you guys should be pretty heavily offensively investing, and defensive investing when you have no money. I don't really see a point in it, right? You don't have any money. You're not where you want to be. Okay, so you guys need to keep that in mind, understand the position that you're in, and realize that the advice that these guys are giving you, like Warren Buffett and stuff, it only works for people who already have wealth. Okay, it only works for people who only have wealth. If you don't have wealth, then you guys need to be offensively investing, and you guys need to be taking risks and taking more shots. Okay, if you don't, then maybe you'll get somewhat wealthy, when you're in your 50s, 60s, maybe, right? You'll outpace inflation. You'll keep the purchasing power that you have, but you're not gonna really use investing as a vehicle to ascend, right? Ascend up into the next financial class, right? So that's number two, is your responsibilities. Somebody who has more responsibilities is going to, generally speaking, have to be a little bit more conservative with his investments. Okay. The third one is income. All right. Income. If you guys make very, very good money, let's say you make $250,000 a year, or you make, even if you're, let's say you're in your 20s, you make six figures, or if you are in a really good financial position, okay, then somebody like that is going to be able to get away with a little bit more risk because they can replace that income, right? So if you're not making very much money, then you have to be careful. You have to be a little bit less risky. That doesn't mean you shouldn't be offensively investing, but the less money that you make, the less you can replace that income, right? So if you have tons of income coming in, hypothetically speaking, you could take more risk. You could be a little bit more comfortable with allocating in the market. If you're okay if something goes to zero because it's coming back next week or coming back next month or whatever, right? So your income is going to depend too. And now all of you guys, whether you're older or younger, I don't give a fuck. You guys should be increasing the amount of money that you make, or you should be trying to increase the amount of money that you make always. How are you doing that? You need to either learn a skill, you need to get a higher paying job. Those things could be intangible, or you build your own business, okay? You build your own business and then you scale that up over time. Once it grows, 2 years you run a profitable business, a year, 2 years you run a profitable business, whatever the case may be, depending on how hard you work at it, okay? You're in a great situation now, and then you have more income, you have more disposable income to put into crypto and to just have a better life in general, okay? So you guys should be increasing your income, but the income that you make right now is going to depend on how and what you buy in the crypto market, okay? Generally speaking, someone with higher income can take a little bit more risk because they can replace the income easier, okay? Now, does that mean that you're a complete degenerate? No, all right? But, and we'll get into that a little bit later, but that's another factor, okay? Risk tolerance, okay? How tolerant are you of risk, right? That's going to depend on how much you should invest in crypto too. If you are a little bit more comfortable with risk, you're a little bit more comfortable with saying, I'm taking a shot here and I'm gonna go for it. I'm gonna go for it to multiply my money and not just play it safe and defensively invest and not really get anywhere. Then if your risk tolerance is higher, then you're gonna be able to invest in the crypto market a little bit more, right? Let me get a drink for a second. All right, so that's the other thing, is your risk tolerance. Are you tolerant of risk? Do you have more of a risk on personality? All right, it's going to depend on you. You have to be able to ask yourself that, and you have to be able to answer that question. That's going to determine how much is in crypto, and then on top of that, how much like what you buy in the crypto market. And we're going to get into that a little bit later too. But guys, listen, I want to say this. If you guys are broke and you guys don't have any money, you guys don't have like a high net worth, and you guys are not in that position, for you younger men out there that I know are watching my videos, you guys should not be, in my opinion, you guys should not be messing with anything but crypto or things like crypto where it's offensive investing. All right. I don't see the point in defensively investing when you're not protecting anything. Okay. What's the point of investing in, things that are going to appreciate 8% a year? I mean, I guess you increase the small amount of money that you have, but I really believe that your energy is more useful, and it's better allocated if you're focused on ascending at that point, because you don't have a net worth, right? If you don't have a net worth, you guys should be focused on offensive investing and the crypto market and just getting really good at that. Okay. And so that leads me into my next thing, right? Which is your conviction level. Okay. Now, basically what this means, you guys, is that how much conviction in the crypto market do you have? If you guys have a lot of conviction, you guys have done your research, you guys know that this market is not going away, and it gives, buying crypto actually gives you peace of mind, then in that situation, you guys can have a little bit more in crypto. You're going to be more comfortable buying more crypto as opposed to other things. At the end of the day, all these investments, you're getting sold on all these different investments, right? And your understanding of economics, your understanding of the money supply, your understanding of what crypto is, and your education level, that's going to depend a lot on how much you're comfortable allocating into the crypto market. I have a feeling that if you do more research into crypto, you understand the problems that Bitcoin solves. You guys understand what Ethereum does. You guys understand what Solana does. You guys understand what real world assets are. All this stuff. I think you guys, the more research that you do, the more you're going to want to allocate into the crypto market, because you realize how useful this stuff is. Okay, so it's going to depend on your conviction level and the amount of education that you have as well. Okay, so the next thing is how skilled you are at the crypto market. How comfortable, how well are you, how good are you at doing TA? How familiar are you with charting Bitcoin? Do you know how to chart, right? How comfortable are you with fundamentals? How do you research fundamentals? Do you know how to research fundamentals? Okay, do you know what to look for in a project that actually makes it do well in price, as opposed to just buying random stuff because somebody on the internet told you to do it? Okay, I'm a random guy on the internet for some of you guys, all right? And just because I say something, that doesn't necessarily mean that you should buy it, right? What you guys should do is you guys should listen to what I say. You guys should take into account what I say. Then you should go out and you should do research yourself, and then from there you make a decision, right? That's why that in the beginning of the video I say nothing is financial advice. You need to take responsibility. Do your own research too. All right, look into stuff yourself. Okay, so do you know how to do fundamental? Do you know how to look for fundamentals? Do you know how to chart? Do you know how to move on chain? Do you know how to look at wallets, right? Do you know how to judge when prices are on discounts and when they're not? Okay, if you guys want to take it a little further, do you guys know how to? Do you guys understand macro and finance more generally? All right, finance and economics more generally speaking, right? Do you guys understand all that? Do you guys understand the problem in the macro environment right now, right? This is all going to be dependent. All this stuff is going to depend. If you're more skilled in crypto, if you guys know what you're doing a little bit more, like I said, obviously you guys want to play games that you're good at. Okay, if you're very, very good at charting crypto, you're very, very good at playing certain games, you guys want to stick to what works, right? So the more skilled you are, the more skills that you have, the more you're going to want to be in the crypto market, because people like to play games that they're good at because it gives them the best chance of winning. Okay, so that's the other thing. All right. So I kind of went over all the different things, and all these things that I just listed, guys. You guys have to keep in mind that you guys have to put that into the equation. Okay, you guys have to make a decision for yourself. Okay, maybe for somebody who's 65, he has a lot of responsibilities. He makes money, but he's getting ready for retirement. Has somewhat of a low risk tolerance, and doesn't really understand Bitcoin that well, but understands that there's potential. All right, maybe for him, 5 to 10% of his portfolio going into crypto makes sense. Maybe 15, depending on what he's trying to do and what his goals are, right? That's the other thing, goals. All right, what are your goals? Are your goals to ascend up? Are your goals to just maintain? Are your goals to, you guys have to think about that too. What are your goals? All right, do you guys want to actually ascend up and take a leap up, or do you guys just want to defensively invest and be where you're at, right? So yeah. So anyway, so that's the thing. All right. Now, within crypto, you guys need to risk manage within crypto as well, right? So what do I mean by that? If you're investing in crypto, you should have mainly blue chips, 50%, 60%. All right. And within crypto, we need to be allocating, and we need to be appropriately allocating as well. Okay. Now, somebody in their 20s, they can, they can essentially take a lot more risk. So maybe 5 to 10% doesn't make sense for them. Okay. 5 to 10% doesn't make sense to them. Maybe for them, 100% into crypto makes sense. All right. 100% into crypto makes sense because they don't have any money anyways. Right. So they're taking a shot. Maybe they have a goal that they want to ascend by let's say they're 25, they want to ascend by 30. Well, I mean, if you want to take a leap up financially, you can do that. If you're disciplined and you're consistent, you delay gratification, right? But you're not going to get that by investing in the S&P. You're just not going to do it. All right, I'm going to tell you right now. In most cases, you're not going to do it from real estate unless you have a team and you have help. In 3 to 4 years, it's very rare that you're going to take a massive leap up financially. A lot of people in real estate, although it's a very lucrative investment, a lot of people in real estate get very, very wealthy over a longer period of time. Okay, so that's the other thing. All right. So I hope I answered your question, guys. But the ultimate answer is that it depends on your situation. The things that I listed in this video, you guys should be thinking about where you're at, what your goals are, how old are you, what your responsibility is. All right, how much are you making right now? What's your risk tolerance and your conviction level? And I encourage all of you to be, if you guys are interested in the crypto market, you guys should be working on your conviction level, aka doing more research, because I think the more research that you do, the more conviction that you're going to have. And you guys should be improving your skills as well, especially if you want to use this as a tool for a long time to make you money, right? Learn technical analysis, learn how to look into fundamentals. If you guys need any help with that, you guys know what to do. You guys can jump in my Telegram and we can talk privately about a coaching call, okay? And I can help you with any of those different things. If you want to be a charting guy, you want to be a fundamentals guy, you guys want to solve a problem, you guys want to know more, you guys can contact me, okay? So 26-minute video, pretty long, but I hope I answered the people who asked me. All right. I have a few clients who asked me this before too, so I'm glad I'm making a video about it now. All right. Thank you guys so much. It's super early where I'm at, so I'm going to try to, everybody needs to move on with their day and get stuff done. So thank you guys. Appreciate you. Subscribe, hit the notification bell. My content is coming out a lot and it's going to get even better, guys. We're going to keep improving the content. We're going to keep on doing that. And I really encourage you guys to really think about what I'm saying in these videos and to take action. All right. I really want to see you guys succeed this year. All right. And it's going to, and I'm pretty confident that there's going to be a lot of money on the table and a lot of people are wrong, but we're not. All right. We're not wrong. So hit the notification bell, subscribe, like the video. All right. If you guys want to follow me on Instagram and TikTok, Chase Your Grace, jump in my free Telegram chat, ask me questions in there. All right. Some of you guys just message me privately from the Telegram chat, but I encourage you guys to ask me live in the chat because then it can get the chat more active a little bit, right? So thank you guys. A lot more things to come. 97 subscribers on YouTube, you guys. We're 3 away from 100. My goal when I first started this was 106 months. We're not even halfway through month 1, or we're not even halfway through month 2, and we almost have 100 subscribers, right? So thank you guys so much for that. I appreciate you all. I appreciate the support. I really do. TikTok, Instagram, Chase Your Grace. Let me know what you guys think about this in the comments, and also let me know what you guys want me to talk about in the comments as well. Okay, so thank you guys. I hope you guys have a good day. Bless up.